What happened to the sky over Mexico? The massive 7.1 earthquake gave apocalyptic scenes as the night sky turned blue with the mysterious earthquake flashes. This is something new that scientists are exploring. We see these earthquake flashes days or before the earthquake, or during the earthquake, or after the earthquake. Something is going on with these flashes. And this happened again with the 7.1 earthquake in Mexico a few days ago. The powerful 7 magnitude earthquake struck in the southwest Mexico near the resort area of Acapulco. And video footage on the internet showed the apocalyptic scenes of blue flashes turning the sky into a light show. At least one person lost his life after the powerful earthquake struck in Mexico, and there were, of course, a lot of major aftershocks after that. People spent the night on the streets. The U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, had it at 7.0, others had it at 7.1. The quake struck 11 miles northeast of Acapulco in the early hours of Wednesday, and the U.S. Tsunami Warning Center issued an alert following that quake, saying hazardous waves were possible within 300 kilometers or 185 miles of the site. And that threat then passed. But we had the footage showing the moment disaster struck, with mysterious blue lights flashing across the sky over the area. Multiple videos on social media captured the apocalyptic scenes unfolding. The videos from the earthquakes in Mexico look apocalyptic, obviously. People added pitch black city streets illuminated by bright blue flashes. As we know, the power was lost for 1.5 million people in the area, and the blue flashes, of course, started giving the show. The mysterious blue flashes are lighting up the sky in Mexico. Some claim the bizarre phenomenon was caused by the electricity cables exploding from the impact. Kindly support my Patreon account, since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. But there's no official confirmation of that. The quake shook the hillside around Acapulco. There was a lot of, the coast area, of course, had a lot of liquefaction and landslides, causing trees to fall, throwing large boulders onto the roads. Hector Astudillo, governor of Guerrero State, where the earthquake took place, where Acapulco is located, said one person lost their lives when they were hit by a post, but there were currently no reports of serious damage, thank goodness. Now, Mexico City, 230 miles away from the quake, caused the ground to shake for nearly a minute in some parts of that capital. Terrified residents, of course, rushed outside as the power was shut down, and reports said residents were huddled together in the rain, holding young children, pets, worried about returning home in the dark, of course, thinking of what the aftershocks could come. Because, if the building has lost its credibility after a large earthquake, even a smaller, they weren't that small, they were 4.5 magnitude, a smaller aftershock could bring the building down. Now, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said the earthquake had not caused major damages in the province and the neighboring region of Oaxaca, Mexico City, and elsewhere. And the country's civil defense agency said it was conducting reviews of the safety of residents and damage in the 10 states. Mexico City Mayor said that there were no immediate reports of significant damage in the capital. Now, bordered by the Atlantic and Pacific areas, Mexico, this is on the Pacific Ring of Fire. It's one of the most seismically active places in the world, sitting atop 5 tectonic plates, including 3 big ones. On September 19, 1985, the magnitude 8.1 quake in Mexico City caused the lives of 10,000 people to be lost and destroyed hundreds of buildings. And on the anniversary of that earthquake in 2017, a magnitude 7.1 quake left about 370 people victim to that, mainly in the capital. Now, what causes these earthquake lights? The luminous aerial phenomenon reportedly appears in the sky at or near areas of tectonic stress, seismic activity, and even volcanic eruptions. There's no consensus what the phenomenon causes are, or even whether it is a single phenomenon or several events. One of the first records of earthquake lights is during the 869 Sanriku earthquake, described as strange lights in the sky in Nihon Jandai Jisuroko of Japan. In 1981, the sixth and final text of the Six National Histories wrote, the lights are reported to appear while an earthquake is occurring, although there are reports of lights before or after earthquakes as well, such as reports concerning the 1975 Kalapana earthquake in Hawaii. They are reported to have shapes similar to those of the auroras, the northern lights and southern lights, the same type of colors, while a white to bluish with a white bluish hue, or even multicolored, but occasionally they have reported wider color spectrums. The luminosity is reported to be visible for several seconds, but has been reported to last for tens of minutes. According to viewable distance from the epicenter varies. In 1930, the Idu earthquake lights were reported for up to 70 miles from the epicenter. Earthquake lights were reported in Tsainsu, Gansu, approximately 250 miles northeast of the 2001 Sichuan earthquake epicenter. Now, the Colima earthquake in Mexico in 2003, colorful lights were seen in the skies. Colima is where we also have the Colima volcano in Mexico. The lights were seen in the skies for duration of the earthquake. And during the 2007 Peru earthquakes, lights were seen in the skies above the sea and filmed by many people. The phenomenon was also observed and caught on film during the 2009 L'Aquila, Italy earthquake. And the 2010 Chile earthquakes, video footage recorded this happening during the 9th April 2011 eruption in Sakurajima volcano in Japan. So it's not just earthquake lights, they're also volcano lights. The phenomenon was also reported around the North Canterbury earthquake in New Zealand that occurred September 1st, 1888. The lights were visible in the morning of September 1st and again on the 8th of September. More recently, appearances of the phenomenon along the video footage of the incidents happened in Sonoma County, California, August 24th, 2014, and in Wellington, New Zealand, November 14, 2016, where blue flashes like lightning were seen in the sky and recorded on several videos. So this is like the blue flashes we had here in Mexico City. On September 8th, 2017, many people reported such sightings in Mexico after the 8.2 magnitude earthquake. Epicenter is 460 miles away. So you can see that even though there's 460 miles, that's pretty long distance, and they still saw the lights, even though the epicenter was 460 miles away. So appearance of the earthquake light seems to occur when the quakes have a high magnitude, generally 5 or higher on the Richter scale. There have also been incidents of yellow ball-shaped lights appearing before earthquake, the ball lightning as we call it. Lights alleged evidence of this phenomenon could be seen through videos taken seconds after the 7.1 magnitude of Acapulco, Mexico, that we saw these images of around 7 September 2021. New York Times reported that videos from both Acapulco and Mexico City also showed the night sky lit up with electrical flashes as power lines swayed and buckled as well. Now, the possible explanations of these, some models suggest the generation of earthquake lights involve the ionization of oxygen to oxygen anions by breaking of peroxy bonds in some types of rocks, the dolomite, the rhyolite rocks, for example, by the high stress before and during the earthquake. After the ionization, the ions travel up through the cracks in the rocks, and once they reach the atmosphere, these ions can ionize pockets of air, forming plasma that emits light. So this is plasma lights. Lab experiments have validated that some rocks do ionize the oxygen in them when subjected to high stress levels. Research suggests that the angle of the fault is related to the likelihood of earthquake light generation, with subvertical, meaning nearly vertical faults in rifting environments having the most incidence of earthquake lights. The hypothesis involves intense electric fields creating piezoelectricity. Piezoelectricity, the electricity charge that accumulates in certain solid materials such as crystals, certain ceramics, and biological matter such as bone, DNA, and various proteins in response to applied mechanical stress. The word piezoelectricity means BSc in Greek means pressure, electricity from the pressure. So this fields created piezoelectricity by tectonic movements of the quartz contained in the rocks, such as granite. Another possible explanation is the local disruption of the Earth's magnetic field and or the ionosphere in the region of the tectonic stress, resulting in the observed glow effects either from ionospheric radiative recombination at lower altitudes and greater atmospheric pressure, or as aurora, but the effect is clearly not pronounced or notably observed at all earthquake events and is yet to be directly experimentally verified. So they're still looking at this. Okay, so this is according to Wikipedia, and of course also on Express UK by Callum Hoare. So that's what happens. Not only earthquakes, but over volcano activity as well. Could this also be what people are seeing as UFOs over volcanoes, over the erupting volcanoes, going into the volcano crater or coming out? I have no idea. This is something that scientists are still still researching. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.